Chosen One, if you are watching this video right now, know that this is no accident. There is an invisible force organizing the steps of those who were marked even before the foundation of the world, and that same force has brought you here at this exact moment. I need you to stop everything you are doing, silence the distractions around you, and take a deep breath, because what I am about to reveal to you in the next few minutes could be the watershed moment you have been waiting for years without even knowing you were waiting. God is moving in an unusual way over your life right now. There is a sound in the spiritual realm that few can hear, a sound of winds blowing in different directions, of doors opening while others close, of invisible shackles being shattered in the unseen world. And you, Chosen One, are at the center of this movement. Have you felt a different kind of restlessness in the last few days? A tightness in your chest that doesn't come from fear, but from something about to be born? Vivid dreams that you cannot explain? People returning from your past for no apparent reason? Situations turning upside down out of nowhere? The clear sensation that something massive is about to happen. Do not ignore this. These are the classic signs of when God decides to change the story of a chosen one. And when that change comes, and it will come, your family will be in shock. Those people who doubted you, who laughed at your dreams, who said you would get nowhere, who called you a failure, a dreamer, someone with their head in the clouds, will have to swallow every word. Not out of revenge, Chosen One, but because the God you serve in silence, the God to whom you cry secretly in the early hours of the morning, the God to whom you plead while maintaining a smile in front of others, that same God is about to manifest loudly over your life. And the shock will be so great that many of those who criticized you will start looking for your phone number. They will want to be near you. They will try to get close to that very life they once despised, because that is how the kingdom works. When the Father decides to honor a son or daughter, no one can stop him. Have you ever felt that something inside you doesn't fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It's not madness. It's not anxiety. It's not an existential crisis. It is a sign. And what is happening now in the cosmic realm explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified lately. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. A game that involves your story, your lineage, your family, and the role you were designated to fulfill in this turnaround that God is about to make in your life. Think, what if everything you have always felt, this sense of being an outsider, this search, this silent certainty that there is something greater reserved for you, was exactly the proof that you are not just another one in the crowd, but a chosen one being prepared for a turnaround so big that it will leave your family speechless? That is why I prepared the powerful digital ebook for you, the Manual for God's Chosen to Protect the Family. This digital ebook is not just reading material, it is a map that shows who is playing against your story, what the spiritual rules are that they never told you about, why your family still doesn't see you as God sees you, and what needs to be broken in the invisible realm so that this coming turnaround manifests in a definitive and undeniable way. This digital ebook was created for those who have already awakened enough to know that this change God is making in your story is real, and who are ready to go beyond the shallow answers the world offers about family, purpose, and destiny. The link is pinned at the top of the comments, but I must warn you, this type of content rarely stays available for long. What is in these pages challenges narratives that many have an interest in keeping intact, narratives that want to keep you small in the eyes of your own family, and there have been attempts to silence this knowledge before. Don't wait for the right moment. Chosen One. The right moment is now, because you did not come to this video by accident. Download it now and comment below. I am chosen and I am downloading the digital ebook. Now that you have decided to act, the next truth I will reveal to you will be the final blow against everything that tried to keep you small before your family. There is a pattern that repeats in the life of practically every chosen one, and when you understand this pattern, a lot of things will start to make sense. Chosen ones are almost always born into families that do not understand them. It is not usually out of malice on the family's part. It is just that the chosen one carries a different frequency from childhood, a different sensitivity, a way of seeing the world that clashes with what is around them. And this difference generates discomfort. It generates comparison. It generates judgment. How many times have you heard from your own family phrases like, "You're weird," "You're too different," "You dream too much," "You're too sensitive," "You'll never get anywhere that way"? How many times have you felt alone inside your own home, surrounded by people who shared your blood but did not share your soul? Chosen one, I need you to listen to this carefully. This was not a mistake. It was a divine strategy. God positions his chosen ones exactly in these environments so that on the day of the turnaround, the testimony is undeniable. Because if you had been born into a family that idolized you from childhood, no one would be in shock at your transformation. But you were born where you were born precisely so that, when God manifests visibly in your life, no one can say it was luck, it was privilege, or it was inheritance. It will be obvious that it was God. And that is exactly what is about to happen. The same lips that diminished you will have to acknowledge you. The same eyes that judged you will have to admit it. The same people who treated you as less than will have to deal with the reality that the God you serve in silence is greater than every opinion they ever had about you. And here comes a revelation that few have the courage to speak openly about. There is a specific spiritual war that acts within families to prevent the chosen one from shining before their own. This war acts through words spoken in moments of anger, through constant comparisons with cousins, siblings, or neighbors, through negative prophecies disguised as advice, through that fateful phrase, "I'm only saying this for your own good." Each of these words is an invisible rope trying to tie you to a destiny smaller than the one God wrote for you. And many chosen ones spend their entire lives carrying these ropes without even realizing it, thinking they are their own limits, when in truth they are spiritual ties placed by words that should never have entered their ears. But God is cutting those ropes now. Can you feel it? That sensation that something is being torn out from inside you in the last few days. That discomfort you can't explain. It is the sound of ropes being cut. It is the noise of the invisible breaking apart. And when the last rope falls, and it will fall soon, you will stand up in a way your family has never seen you stand before. And the shock will be such that many will not be able to hide the expression on their faces. Some will cry. Others will ask for forgiveness. Others will try to act as if they never diminished you. And you, chosen one, will need wisdom in that moment. Because God's turnaround in your life doesn't just come to elevate you. It also comes to give you the opportunity to be exactly like Him, merciful toward those who did not know how to see you. There is a very old promise hidden between the lines of Scripture, which says that God raises the humbled in the presence of those who humbled them. It is not revenge. It is divine justice. It is restoration. It is the Father telling the entire universe that the child who seemed forgotten was never forgotten, that the child who seemed to be the last was always the chosen one. And when this promise is fulfilled in someone's life, it is not fulfilled discreetly. It is fulfilled resoundingly, precisely so that no one has any doubt about who did it. You are about to live this. The signs have already begun. They may not yet be visible to your family's eyes, but they are forming behind the scenes. There are invisible hands preparing doors that will open in the coming days. There are names being mentioned in places where you are not physically present. There are opportunities being diverted from other people and redirected to you. And when all this begins to manifest concretely, you will remember this video, this moment, this instant in which someone told you clearly, "Chosen one, prepare yourself, because God is changing your story and your family will be in shock." And this is precisely where many chosen ones lose the game, not for lack of faith, not for lack of prayer, but for lack of knowledge of the spiritual rules that govern this transition. Because when God begins to move the life of a chosen one toward a turnaround of this magnitude, the enemy also moves. Not to stop it completely because he doesn't have that power, but to try to delay, distort, and contaminate. And a large part of this contamination comes through people close to you, especially family. People who, even without knowing it, are used as channels for words, attitudes, and energies that try to make you doubt what God is doing. It was with this in mind, chosen one, at the exact moment you are living now, that I prepared the digital e-book, The Manual for God's Chosen to Protect the Family. This digital e-book is the map that teaches you exactly how to shield this coming turnaround, how to identify who around you is being used against your story without even realizing it, and how to position yourself spiritually so that no word spoken against you prospers during this process. This digital ebook reveals the spiritual rules that no one told you about what happens inside a family when a chosen one begins to be elevated by God, and it gives you the exact tools to cross this phase without losing your peace, your faith, and your family in the process. It was made for those who have already awakened enough to understand that this coming turnaround is too big to be faced on the basis of trial and error. The link is pinned at the top of the comments, highlighted, easy to find. But pay attention, this content challenges narratives that many prefer to keep hidden. Narratives that keep chosen ones small within their own homes, and there have already been attempts to take this material down. Don't leave it for later. Download it now and comment below this video. I am chosen and I am downloading the digital ebook. This act of faith is the green light to heaven that you are ready to receive what is coming. Now that you have made this commitment, I am going to give you the next layer of this revelation, and it is so powerful that it will change the way you see your own family from today on. There is something that needs to be said about families and chosen ones, and few have the courage to speak it clearly. Your family is not your enemy. Even those relatives who hurt you the most, who diminished you the most, who judged you the most, they are not the real problem. They are in fact pieces being moved in a much larger game, and when you understand this, your perspective changes completely. You stop wasting energy trying to convince people who are not designed to understand you, and you start investing that same energy in what really matters, positioning yourself for the turnaround that God has already decreed. Because, chosen one, listen to this carefully. Your family does not need to understand what God is doing in your life. They only need to witness it. And that is what is going to happen. You will no longer need to explain. You will no longer need to prove. You will no longer need to defend your dreams, your projects, your choices, or your convictions. The manifestation of God in your life will be the explanation. It will be the argument that no one will be able to contest. It will be the final point in discussions that have dragged on for years within your family. And when that final point is placed, the silence that forms in the room will be louder than any word ever spoken there. Because there are silences that speak. There are silences that confess. There are silences that ask for forgiveness without needing to pronounce a single syllable. And that is the kind of silence you are about to hear. And here is a truth that will set you free from a weight you perhaps didn't even know you were carrying. You are not responsible for your family's conversion. You were not put in this world to force anyone to see God. Your role is to be, not to convince. And when you simply are, when you become the full version of what God called you to be, your family will see God in you without you needing to utter another word on the subject. Many chosen ones exhaust themselves trying to save their family with speeches, arguments, and explanations. And while they do that, they forget to take care of their own walk, their own intimacy with God, and their own growth. And then time passes, frustration increases, the family relationship becomes worn out, and the turnaround that God had prepared is delayed because the vessel that was supposed to receive that turnaround wore itself out in the wrong process. So today, chosen one, I want to give you this word of liberation. Stop trying to save those who haven't asked to be saved. Stop trying to convince those who are not yet ready to understand. Turn your eyes back to yourself. Take care of your relationship with God. Take care of your prayer. Take care of your silence. Take care of your daily choices. And let God, in His time, do what only He knows how to do within the hearts of the people you love. Because the best preaching you can do for your family is your own transformation. And that transformation is about to accelerate in a way that will take everyone by surprise, including you. There is a detail about this turnaround that few tell you. It is almost always preceded by a phase of apparent worsening, a phase in which everything seems to get harder, in which old situations resurface, in which unexpected people appear to test your patience, in which you wonder if you're doing something wrong, if God is really with you, if it is worth continuing to believe. This phase has a name in the spiritual realm. It is called the sifting. It is the moment when everything that cannot cross over with you to the next level needs to fall away first. Bonds that were not healthy need to break. Old thoughts need to be confronted. Family patterns that have repeated for generations need to be broken. And often this breaking happens in an uncomfortable, even painful way. But Chosen One, listen to this. The discomfort you are feeling now is not punishment. It is preparation. It is not abandonment. It is sifting. It is not the end. It is exactly the beginning. And when you cross this phase, and you will cross it, you will look back and understand that everything that looked like destruction was actually a cleansing. It was God taking out of your life everything that would hinder the turnaround that was coming. It was the Father preparing the soil for the giant harvest that is about to arrive. And your family, who may be seeing this phase from the outside and judging, will be struck dumb when they realize that what seemed like your end was actually your birth. There is an ancient spiritual principle that says all true elevation is preceded by depth. No one is raised by God to great heights without first having passed through deep roots. And if you feel that your life has been pushing you down lately, perhaps it is not to sink you but to root you. Perhaps God is strengthening the root system of your tree so that when the winds of elevation arrive, the tree does not topple. Because there are many chosen ones out there who received the blessing without having roots, and when the wind blew, they fell. And God does not want that to happen to you. He wants this turnaround to be solid, lasting, and irreversible. He wants you to rise and not fall, to be elevated and remain elevated, for you to be honored, and for that honor to last for generations in your family. And for that, He is building the invisible foundations now. He is strengthening your character in situations that no one sees. He is testing your patience in the small things of everyday life. He is molding your humility in moments when you could strike back and you don't. Each of these apparently small situations is a brick being placed in the foundation of something massive. Do not despise these moments. They are precious. They are part of the turnaround. And it is exactly at this point in the journey that many chosen ones feel the need for clearer direction, for a more detailed map, for something that organizes all these pieces and shows the path in a practical and spiritual way. That is why, Chosen One, I have placed in your hands the possibility of accessing the digital ebook, The Manual for God's Chosen to Protect the Family. This digital ebook is not just about protecting your family against external attacks. It is about something much deeper. It is about teaching you how to cross this sifting phase without losing anyone along the way, how to shield your home while God operates this turnaround in your life, how to maintain peace within the home while the transformations happen, and how to ensure that your family, even those who don't see it yet, is preserved in the process until the exact moment they witness the shock of the manifestation. This digital ebook reveals exactly what is being moved in the invisible realm while God rewrites your story. And it gives you practical tools, specific prayers, powerful declarations, and spiritual strategies that chosen ones of past generations use to cross moments like yours. It is content that combines ancestral wisdom with application for the present time, custom-made for the chosen one who is living through this exact moment of transition. The link is pinned at the top of the comments. But it is important for you to know, this material challenges narratives that many people prefer to keep in the dark. Narratives that keep entire families trapped in cycles that could have been broken generations ago. And for this reason, this digital ebook has already been the target of attempts to silence it. Do not leave for tomorrow what can change your story now. Download it and leave your comment. I am chosen, and I am downloading the digital ebook. This comment is more than words. It is a decree. It is you positioning yourself before the unseen. And now that you have positioned yourself, I'm going to give you the most powerful part of this revelation, the part that was missing to close the cycle of everything that has been said here. There is a moment in the life of every chosen one when the heavens open in a different way. It is not a moment you mark on the calendar. It is not a moment you can predict with a date and time. But it is a moment that, when it arrives, changes everything so definitively that nothing can ever go back to being as it was before. This moment has an ancient name, Kairos. It is God's time, distinct from clock time. It is the instant in which doors that were closed for years open all at once. It is the second in which people who seemed untouchable become accessible. It is the invisible interval in which impossible situations become possible. And that moment is approaching your life. Perhaps it is already knocking at the door. Perhaps it is only a few weeks away. Perhaps you will wake up tomorrow and realize that something has changed in the air, something that cannot be explained but can be felt. And when that moment arrives, chosen one, I need you to be prepared. Because God's Kairos does not ask for permission, does not give advance notice, and does not give second chances. It arrives, opens the door, and those who are ready enter. Those who are not see it pass by. And I don't want you to be one of those who saw the Kairos pass and were left regretting it later. I want you to be one of those who entered, who crossed over, who lived the turnaround in its entirety and still reaped double because they knew how to recognize the right time. And here comes a direct word for your family. Those people who today look at you with doubt, who doubt your dreams, who laugh at your convictions, will be the first ones to seek you out when this turnaround manifests. Do not be surprised. Do not reject them. Do not return the contempt you received. Because the true mark of a chosen one is not just the blessing they receive, it is the character with which they carry that blessing. The chosen ones whom God truly exalts are those who know how to honor even those who did not know how to honor them. They are the ones who extend a hand even to those who turn their backs, not out of weakness, but out of strength. Not out of a need for acceptance, but out of an understanding that the family cycle needs to be broken at some point. And that moment has come to you. You were chosen to be the turning point of your lineage. You were chosen to be the one through whom old curses are broken and ancient blessings are manifested. You were chosen to be the channel through which a new era enters your family, even if many in the family do not yet realize it consciously. And when this new era takes hold, the transformation will not just be yours, it will belong to your entire house. Children who have not even been born yet will be impacted by the choice you make today to stand firm. Grandchildren you do not even know yet will be heirs to the posture you maintain at this exact moment. And future generations will look back and identify your name as the point where everything changed. There is one more thing I need to tell you before I close. There is a pattern observed in the lives of people who lived through great spiritual turnarounds throughout history, and this pattern always involves a moment of conscious decision, a moment in which the person stopped, looked at their own life, and said in no uncertain terms, "From today on, it is different." This moment of decision functions like a portal. It is as if heaven were waiting for that word to begin moving in a more visible way. And perhaps heaven is waiting for that word from you now. Perhaps everything that separates you from the coming turnaround is not time, not merit, not preparation, but simply this decision verbalized with faith. So say it now, out loud if you can. From today on, I believe that God is changing my story. From today on, I position myself as chosen. From today on, no word spoken against me in the past has any more power over my future. From today on, I receive the turnaround that is coming. From today on, my family will witness what God is capable of doing through a life that has surrendered. Say that, chosen one, and feel the words descending to the bottom of your soul. Because these words do not return empty. They go to heaven, they are recorded in the books of the invisible, and they transform into decrees that are fulfilled in the right time. And when the fulfillment comes, and it will come, I want you to remember one thing. You were not alone during this journey, even in the moments when you felt like the most isolated of human beings, even on the nights when you cried without anyone knowing, even on the days when you pretended to be okay, just so as not to worry those you loved. Even there, especially there, you were not alone. There is an invisible army that accompanies the life of every chosen one. There are spiritual hands that sustain you when human strength fails. There are voices that whisper courage when the silence of the world is deafening. And those voices brought you here. That army sustained you until this moment, that God guarded you when you didn't even know you were being guarded. And now, after so much walking, the time of manifestation is arriving. The time for the story to change. The time for the family to be in shock. The time for that which was invisible to become visible to all eyes. And it is for this reason, chosen one, that I insist once more that you do not leave this video without securing your access to the digital ebook, The Manual for God's Chosen to Protect the Family. This digital ebook is exactly the material that will accompany you in this transition phase, giving you day by day the practical guidance you need to sustain the turnaround, shield your family, and cross the sifting without losing what is precious. It organizes everything that was spoken in this video into practical chapters, with specific prayers, powerful declarations, identification of subtle attacks within the family environment, strategies for dealing with resistant relatives without entering into conflict, and a sequence of spiritual positionings that will prepare you for the exact moment when God's manifestation becomes visible to everyone. This digital ebook was designed for the chosen one who understood that their story is being rewritten and who needs a practical manual so as not to get lost during the rewriting. The link is pinned at the top of the comments in the first position, easy to find and access. It is important to repeat. This content challenges narratives that many prefer to keep hidden, especially narratives that keep chosen ones invisible within their own families for generations. There have already been concrete attempts to take this material down, and therefore I cannot guarantee how long it will be available this way. Do not confuse patience with delay, chosen one. God's time demands an immediate response when He manifests. Download it now and leave your comment registering your position. I am chosen and I am downloading the digital ebook. This comment is your agreement with heaven. It is your response to the call. It is your way of telling the invisible that you are ready to receive what is coming. And when the turnaround manifests, and your family is in shock exactly as this video predicted, you will remember this instant, and you will understand that everything began with this simple decision you made today. Chosen one, the heavens are open. The story is being changed. Your family is about to be surprised, and you are the protagonist of this turnaround. Do not waste this moment. Receive the word, make the decision, get the digital ebook, and prepare yourself because the best chapter of your life is being written as you read these final words.